Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello. See, do we have sound? Okay, some teething problems. I have no sound here.
Best trick, the most exciting trick, the most talked about trick of Magic Live 2025. It's Eject by Trick Trick Boom.
Eject is a compact injection molded device that fits perfectly inside a card box, featuring an innovative design composed of 30 precision-engineered components working together seamlessly, with internal locking triggered by a sensor and a viewing window. So at a glance, you know whether you're ready to perform. By rotating the knob, you can adjust the height from 2 to 15 feet, all designed with your performance in mind.
At Trick Trick Boom, we've made a portal only at Magic Live. Watch this. I'll drop a pen in here. No way. And we've got a rubber pin as well.
So this is the rubber pen, but as to be, it goes soft when it travels.
Oh, yeah. They might have seen that before.
Yeah, yeah. But then you can.
No way! Eject, the new signature moment in your act.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta-da. Yeah, you find it out of your butt. Good job.
Yeah.
No, that looks good.
Hey, that looks pretty damn fine. And hopefully I fixed my my sound issues because, like a complete amateur, I didn't have the microphone properly on. But I'm trusting that it's all working well. So, guys, you have just seen something that me and Roddy have been working on since Roddy had hair, a long time. Let us know. What do you think? First impressions. Looks proper badass, doesn't it? It is amazing. It's a million miles from our usual shtick of glue and magnets and flap cards and all that good stuff, which we still utterly adore. But
Yeah,
this is.
I have to explain as well. I have literally just come in the door about 3 minutes ago from a gig. I didn't dress up for this. This is, although it is worth dressing up for, but I just literally come in the door. I haven't even had a chat. I just ran in. I've left my case out in the car and everything, but don't worry, I live in a nice area, so it's fine.
No, it's grand. But obviously, I imagine you've probably got another gig you've got to get off to on this busy Friday night. It's probably just a brief window before you go straight back out.
Just to prove, it was in here. It was ready to go at my gig. Oh! I only had a little way.
He's always ready for launch. 15 feet. See why it says it is utterly mental.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a bit of background, and then if you guys have got any questions, fire them in, and we'll also. Let's start the competition so you guys can start having a think about it, and then we'll fire in any questions you've got, and me and Roddy will answer them because I imagine you've all got a lot of questions or thoughts on it so far. So the sort of competition is this. Have a think. We want to hear your maddest idea of how you're going to use Eject. So it can be sort of serious, but like funny, like almost practical, or what are your crazy answers? We want to make us laugh, and we will pick a winner. And whoever that winner is will be getting a copy of Eject for free, shipped to them on Monday. So have a think now, and then ping in some questions or any thoughts you've got as well. Amazing, Darren, good lad, absolute hero. Darren's just placed his order, amazing. So, see at 15 feet. So, our friends at Ultramantic, who are amazing, which I believe is ultramantic.com, and Longfei and the crew did an amazing job working on our vision, which we've held for, 3 or 4 years now. It's been a long, long journey. And they did such a great job of making our dreams come true, of developing this amazing product. And I think when we originally said it to them, we said, listen, if it'll go 6 feet, that's great. Like, just all it needs to be able to do is clear your head. But then as things went further, we were like, well, you know what? You always go bigger. Bigger is always better. And then once we went higher with the height, we realized all these different applications we could have with it as well. So then we thought about the stand-up uses, chucking it into your case, then card stab, and all those fun things. Body stopping with premature ejaculation, and it can happen to anyone.
I had my glasses. That's what it was.
Oh, did it?
So the great thing with it is that when you dial it up full, it'll cover a stage. You can put it at the side. You put it at an angle, whatever, in a box. Then it'll go much further than the 15 feet. And my favourite thing to do with it is just to toss it into a box and then have it fired back out and catch it. It's just such a fun sort of moment. Like that catching it is just, what it's like, just catching something. If somebody throws you a thing and you catch it, it's a little thrill anyway. But having something like this that's under your control and you can just fire it whenever and catch it, then it's immense fun. It really is.
No, absolutely. We've got a question here from Arcane Magic. Really appreciate you guys actually showing the device. Super helpful to know exactly what we're getting. That's what we wanted to do because it is a magic trick, and I know the rules. Don't say what the thing is. But you know what? With this, we absolutely wanted to share what the device is because it's a special moment in your act. It's a considered purchase. We're not hiding anything. This device has been injection molded. It is. It's not 3D printed crap like imagine a lot of magic dealers would do. This cost bundles of money to make an injection molded thing because it's strong. It's super lightweight. So if you're a close-up magician, you can stick it in your top pocket. You can, but if you're a parlor or stand-up magician or a kids show magician, you can stick it in your case. You can have the bouncing thing, which you'll have seen in the trailer with Harry doing it and Morton. Pulled in a lot of favours for the trailer. So Harry Nardi bouncing the pen on the floor, apparently, which amazing. One of me and Roddy's favourite things about Magic Live was that fooling people so much, even though we showed them the device, didn't we?
Well, that was it. It was like when we were at Magic Live. So someone walked by, I would fire out my shirt because I would just wear a short sleeve shirt, being in Vegas and all. Fire out my pocket, catch it. And that would bring people over. And then I'd say, have you seen this? And I'd throw it in the ground and boing, it would bounce back up, this whole kind of business. And then I would show them the other things. We'd do the portal that we did with the bag, which we'll come back to. And honestly, the number of people that said, that's amazing. And I'd take the device out and show them it and explain how it worked. And they'd say, that's great. How does the bouncing one work, though? And then I'd say, I've just got one on the floor. I'm just throwing a pen down, which I have to pick up later. But it fooled so many people, even though we showed them what the device was and what it does.
It just shows it's going straight to fool us.
So you do see it on the trailer, but I'll just give you a little look at it here. It's so well made, as Noel said, injection molded. So it has a little indicator light here, and depending on the colour, as you'll see, it'll tell you if it's got anything between, is it 150%? It's between 50 and 100, and then 50 and about 20, and the different lights that comes on. So I think this is about 40%. It won't fire unless the sensor is in there.
Blue is 100%, purple is 80 to 20%, and red is 20%. But you'll get hundreds and hundreds. It's remarkable. The thing is never off.
I've not charged this since Magic Live, and I've fired it hundreds of times. I just missed a comment there. What was that?
So Andy said a minute ago, will a Sherpa work with this? So as we said to you now, Sherpa will not work. Neither will a clicker Sharpie. But Eric Tate, who is an absolute hero at Magic Live, he bought one and he set to work with making a sort of 3D printed attachment. Aftermarket attachment to do it. So I'm going to see if I can beg him to share that file, and I will put it up. We've set up a Facebook group, which you guys are welcome to join as well. And when you join that, we'll start to pile in with different ideas and fun routines and things like that. So
random magic guy, yes, this certainly will work with the marker included with little holes, which is just a Sharpie marker. And I like, I like that someone said they plan on using it as a tool to keep kids back. Yeah, Dan Slater, grumpy old man. And I like, and another, I love that thing of accidentally letting it roll off the table and then it jumps back up. I've used it that way myself, where I've and then I'm old, I don't want to bend down, click your fingers, it fires back up, act nonchalant, So I'm keeping an eye on here. So Tom,
so weight limits. Any suggestions for weight? As in the pen might be in thick. Yeah, I mean, a regular Sharpie. So you can do with other pens and other markers. You want something that is very close to the same diameter as a Sharpie because it needs to trigger the unit. So when you put it in, if you put, for example, a pencil isn't going to work. It isn't wide enough. You want something that is, pretty much there or thereabouts.
Well, with a pencil, you can put a Sharpie in and lock it, and lock it into position. And as long as the thing that you put in there afterwards is enough to trigger the sensor, then you'll be able to fire it. If you use a Sharpie and you take the ink out of the middle of it, the little ink barrel, you're going to get an extra maybe 4 or 5 feet on it as well. Trying it with a pencil, a rolled up card.
I'm going to do a live experiment here now with a pencil. And Tom, I'm coming back to your question in a second. So let's have a look. We'll see if fire with a pencil.
Is this just going to stick in your ceiling?
Negative. So the pencil is just too thin. I've said it with a Sharpie. Sharpie's going to work absolutely fine. But so you can experiment.
A rolled up cards with a band around it will go 30 feet easily.
In answer to Tom's question, the most fun thing is a rolled up card is great. You can do it with a wand as well. So you want to get a wand that is the same diameter. You might need to 3D print it. That is something we might look at, giving those 3D files on the Facebook group, so as you guys can have those 3D printed, because you want to be pretty much the same diameter as a Sharpie. And we, our focus is to do it with a Sharpie. It is a Sharpie. It's a Sharpie product essentially, but you can experiment with other things. Mark said, Mark used it with of course he had a thicker mechanical pencil. Brilliant.
Of course. Who do you know who has a thick mechanical pencil other than Mark?
It's been 35 years since I've seen anyone with a mechanical pencil, but if anyone's got one, it's definitely Mark.
So JDC has asked, how loud is the launch? Can you hear the click in a close-up situation? Well, I'll do it now. You can hear it. It's a little click, but if you're in any room with any kind of ambient sound, I mean, the thing is, it's not particularly the surprise of it just going, I click my fingers at the time when I launch it, so that kind of covers it anyway. But no, it's pretty quiet. I hope that answers your question. You can actually hear it. If I fire it here without clicking my fingers, you can hear the little click of it. Let's see any other questions here.
That's the thing. Is the truth is you can hear it. There is a noise. There is a noise when it's going off. But it's such a surprise when it's firing that's like it's almost like it's deleted from their memory at that moment. Like, also, you're not. I know most of the magic tricks when we've got a special effect like smoke or one of the other fun things. You think, I do hope someone doesn't say you've got an e-cigarette up your sleeve. It's not a massive surprise. Certainly, if you're doing it close up, that you've got something that's making it fire in the air. But I promise you, that exact moment when it happens, all thoughts go out of their head. They're not thinking, I wonder if he's got a little thing inside his pocket to make that thing fire, because they're having so much fun with it. Any other questions, guys? Also,
you are triggering it with a remote. Yeah, that's a good question. So this is the remote. The remote comes with. You'll see that the button on the remote it's sort of recessed a little bit, so that it's safe in your pocket. And you're not going to fire it accidentally in your pocket. But it comes with a little foam button that you can stick on here if you want to raise that button a little bit. And it has it comes with an arm strap as well. Most of the time, can you see that if I hold it up there? Yeah, you can see the little loops. So you could put it on your belt. Most of the time I put it on my arm and I position it round the back of my arm a little bit. and that leaves my hands free. I know that with my normal kind of action, when I'm moving my arms, I'm not going to fire it. I need to move this arm out to the side and press it deliberately to be able to fire it. So I'll kind of do this. So yeah, it's. Sorry, carry on.
No, sorry. I was going to say I've got the table camera, and I'm going to show you what it looks like inside our sexy box, and then you better see it as well a little bit better. So there we go. Enjoy this. We'll get a little bit of a dingle dangle on that. So inside here, you don't care. You know, I was going to say, there's no point trying to hide the tutorial. It's not a massive surprise.
No, we know what it is.
So this is the unit, like I said, injection molded, and this, which we talk about in the instructions, this is the double locking mechanism here. So when you lock the unit, you know that when both locks are in like this, you know that that isn't going to go anywhere, because safety is so important with this. This is the little thing you're going to turn to adjust the height. We'll talk about this in the instructions, and then you can adjust that. It'll fire from anything from 2 feet to sort of certainly 12 feet. And if you take the barrel out of the Sharpie, straight up it'll go 15 feet in the air. So you know, I don't fire it at that height, but it is a you know, I will do it if I'm doing a stand-up show, and the card stab routine, which we'll talk about. You can absolutely do that as well. This is the remote. Inside here, a little pack of extra bits and pieces. We've got the charging lead, the arm strap that Roddy mentioned, the battery for the remote, and the little raised up thing as well. So that's what you're getting as well. I'm going to go back to the main camera now. There we go.
How heavy is the unit? Do you know? It's very light. I couldn't tell you.
It's very light. We might be able to get a real-time answer to that if I speak to my technical operative. We might be able to weigh the units. Oh, copy. There we are. In fact, I'm going to do it real time.
So there isn't a delay with the remote. As soon as you press it, it will fire.
There we go.
We went through
grams.
different. There we go. Perfect. We went through lots of different iterations of this. I don't have them. I would have brought them to show on camera, but like I said, I've got loads of different prototypes. They're all different shapes and sizes, and I wanted to have them on screen, but I literally ran in the door and got my laptop on. So
I've got them now. Here, I've got Roddy. I've got them here. We're going to get a table camera. We're going to do a big old dump.
So we did have the original one. We set different delay settings on them, but for reliability, we found ourselves that just being able to just squeeze that and have it fire out, it made it much more reliable when it came to the catch. Strangely, is that a couple of guns you've got there? Let's have a look at that.
So
a couple of six shooters.
This is one that you can see why we might have stopped on developing this one any further. But these are lots of. I mean, this is a small selection of what we've had. So yeah, definitely some dodgy ones. Looking at that, so these are like lots of different things, and these are 3D printed. And it was really hard for me and Roddy to along the way, because all of these have been 3D printed. As we know, if you know anything about product design, 3D print hasn't got that kind of strength. So when you fire it and test it a couple of times, it will break. That's why we went with injection molded. It's so incredibly strong and tough. This thing will last and last and last. Which reminds me, another thing to bring up is we are offering a year warranty with this. So if there are any issues at all, you know, you can send it straight back to us. And we're also, you know, we're offering support via the Facebook group as well. If you've got any ideas, if you've got any routine thoughts as well, then share them on the Facebook group as well. Which great question from Chris. Just feeding, great question. I don't know what it is around the world, but it's £115 in pounds. So you can see it on the website. So if you click on the, go to tricktrickboom.com, you will see it there, and it'll give you your price eventually when you click through. In dollars, that's about $154, I think.
And if you buy it in the States, it ships from our distributor in the States. So it will ship immediately from the US. Sorry, some of the things are really good. So yes, Pete, there are different kind of ideas of things that you can do on the tutorial, like the things we said about the bouncing Sharpie and the portal thing and stuff like that, and the card staff. Hello, Ali as well. Hello, and nice to see you. Mark is glad that Zoom show equipment's been put to good use. Yes, good. He blew the dust off of it. Let's have a look. Yeah, there is some dodgy stuff on that table.
Well, while Roddy's
it is a spring. It's a spring that there is a spring in here that triggers it. Yeah, as a spring mechanism. And as Noel said, we went through a lot of different kind of iterations, as you saw, with various different springs and different methods of propulsion. We found the spring was best because it was pretty much infinitely adjustable from, as Noel said, a couple of feet to 15 feet. And with this, Ultramantic came up with this fantastic mechanism where it double locks, keeps it completely safe, and it gives you that immediate powerful fire from it, which is what you're looking for.
Great question from Pete a minute ago. Sorry, I said too late. So great question from Pete a minute ago, which I've now immediately forgot because of the time they're holding. It's going to come back to me now. Magic's going to appear on the screen again, maybe. Hold on.
What did Pete ask? I can scroll up. I'm looking at them here just now. Let me have a look.
This is not as slick as Alakazam, but we're getting there.
Yeah, you know.
Any other ideas on the tutorial for routine ideas? So what I've done on the tutorial, I'll answer this because Roddy doesn't know much about the tutorial. He does. He's on it. But one of the things is, so because, to a certain extent it's self-explanatory, the main thing so I don't perform it, but we've got, you can see it in the trailer, or certainly a visualization of what it might look like with our friend Matt Edwards doing it at the House of Illusion. A fun thing you can do for a parlor show or, maybe 10 minutes at the end of a close-up routine is use it as a card stab. So for, the size of a card box, you have got a closer to your show that you can do at any moment. And all you do is you'd force a card, you'd stick a card, you'd take a lid off a Sharpie, draw it out, pop the Sharpie through your force card, pop that into the unit, dial it up to the highest height it can go. Then you say, I've trained this Sharpie all of my life. You do the little rubber Sharpie gag like this, and you say, I've trained it all of my life. I can hypnotize it. First of all, it's now in a deep state of hypnosis. You throw the pen into your case. So I'm going to spring the cards over the case, and then you shout, now! You press the trigger at that point, and the pen and the card that's gone through it are going to go firing through that. Going to go, maybe 8 feet in the air, because it will be, we understand. I didn't do much science at school, but we all understand airflow. There's a playing card sticking through the middle of it. It's going to go straight up in the air, and it'll go through that cascade of cards, which is a great sort of finish to your stand-up show. Kids show magicians as well. The portal routine is great, which, you can see in the trailer. There's not much to it apart from you drop one in one side. We talk about it a little bit on the routine. You drop one in one side, and then out of a bag, you have it popping up out the other side. What you can do is, if you've got a couple of kids in a kids show, you can, pretty much do it with them. On your side, you have the kid drop the pen into their bag, and maybe they're holding it above their head height. Maybe there's a magnet in the bottom of the bag, something like that. Just get a lock it in position. You want the kid to hold it above head height. They drop their pen in, and you say, "Oh, it's amazing!" And then on your side, you snap your fingers. That pen comes jumping out of your paper bag, and you catch it. If you really want to go to town, you can buy 2, which we would encourage. You can buy a second unit, so then you can do reverse. You can drop it back in the other side.
Funny you should say that, because Mark was asking how many units did Justin Willem buy so far? How many
so
has
far,
he bought?
Justin Willman has got he's a big fan of Eject, and he got it at Magic Live, and he brought it on tour, and yeah, he loves it more than Blade. And then Justin Willman said, "Yeah, want to buy another 3?" So no, it is he's not your average renter quote. He's so he was he's proper Magic A-list, isn't he? So yeah, we love it. In fact, he has so many different celebrities buying the thing.
About the battery life as well. Now, I was tasked with testing how many fires we could get out of this, because Noah's said, look, we want to be able to say you can get X amount of fires out of this. And genuinely, from a full charge, I fired it hundreds and hundreds of times, and then I gave up because I thought, well, there's no point. because so it's got a really good battery in here, a really good lithium battery, rechargeable lithium. You recharge it by USB-C. Don't charge it on the mains. You plug it into like your laptop or a power bank. And once it's fully charged, and it charges, how long does it take to charge?
Like 5
Maybe
minutes,
about-
10 minutes at an absolute max. So if you
Well,
if once you charge the thing up, it will last, crazy.
Yeah, so once you lock the pen in, so once I put this in here and it locks, if I take the pen out of here, this is now locked. The only power that's been expended is when I put the pen in, the light comes on for a second, then it goes out. And the only other time that power is expended, so at this point the unit is off essentially, but it's set. So when I press the trigger, well, I'm not going to fire, I'm just going to press it. It will fire, and that's the only time that battery is expending any power. So as a result, it seems that you can fire this. As I said, I haven't charged mine since Magic Live, and I've used it at several gigs. It's still on. I think I'm on purple here, which is over 50%.
Yeah, 20 to
You can
80%.
20 to 80. I could say conservatively, you could probably. I reckon you could probably fire it 1,000 times. I think. I just don't worry about having to charge it. The remote has a little button battery in it, and again, you're only pressing it for a moment, so the battery will last a long, long time as well, and it's very easy.
And they're like a couple of dollars, so it's just a cell battery. I think it's 1602.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you can get those for a couple of dollars in any drugstore or on Amazon or something like that. So yeah, that'll do you hundreds of fires as well, because you're just pressing it for a split second. Dave wants the lowdown. What's Dave saying? If you've got two, do you need both remotes? No, so you compare one remote to 2 units. So I've got the detailed info on the whole combination of having several remotes and several units. And the truth is, I can't remember. But yeah, you can definitely use one remote to fire 2 units. But you need to pair it with it as well, which will take 10 seconds. So drop us a line if you want to do that, Dave, or if anyone does. I will eventually add that to the instructions. But the only people who've got it at the moment are Mick and Roddy and the people in Magic Live. So when we start shipping these things out the next day or so, then you'll all be getting them. What was I going to say?
Your correct, random guy is not using the battery power to launch it. It's just, yeah. So it will last a long, long time.
Yeah, exactly. There's tons and tons. Nigel Quinn, absolute hero. Inspiration. I'm getting a line of fire, John Malkovich vibes. Yeah, it's a weird one. I think. No, absolutely. I think sort of the journey with this. So in the early days, I had a thought about. I started messing around with something else, which I won't reveal too much because you will be seeing that from TTB Towers at some point. And then, in fact, a good friend of ours, Mike Sullivan, said to me in Prop Dog, it was like, do you know what? It'd be great. You could do with other things. And then we sort of like banged it around, and we thought you could do it with a Sharpie, and then not the method I had at the time wouldn't work with a Sharpie. And then I spoke to Mark Peters, who's a great sort of electronics guy, and he sort of worked on the original prototypes, and he came up with different sort of ways of getting that thing to fire in the air. But eventually, Ultramantic took over, and they did amazing jobs at problem solving. Because me and Roddy, we love a glue stick. Roddy loves a glue stick. I'm less keen, but Roddy's we're not the electronics guys. That's why we brought in Ultramantic, who were absolutely amazing to deal with and made an incredible product. So yeah, absolute heroes.
So Ali's asking about the Sherpa thing. I think you answered that earlier. That it isn't wide enough for a Sherpa, but as Noel said, Eric Tate asked the same question, and he's working on that, right? It's a 3D,
well, Eric,
3D print.
So yeah, thanks, Ali. So yeah, the answer is, as it comes now, it won't work with a Sherpa, it won't work with a clickable. Sharpie is designed exactly to work with a with the diameter of a standard regular Sharpie. But Eric Tate, who's a hero, bought it at Magic Live and set to work on a 3D printed sort of attachment. Now that is, if I can get him to share it, or if anyone else works on such a thing, they can do that. But obviously, that is outside the scope of the product. But I will try and get that file from him. But he's kind of hot shit, so I don't know if he will. But we'll find out. If not, we'll task it to somebody else. But yeah, the answer is if you want to fire things, they need to be pretty much 90% the same size as a Sharpie. So you can make that happen. Maybe you put you put a sticker on your pencil or pen or whatever it is if it's not quite the right size, or there's lots of things you can do like that. But stick with a Sharpie and you'll be absolutely grand. Right. I think in a minute we're going to run that trailer again for anyone that has missed it, and then we'll get thinking about our. So if you got any other thoughts for the competition?
I'm just going to sit and put my finger in it because I like switching the light on by touching the sensor. I was just playing with it, but you're right. Yeah, you could put a plastic finger in there and fire it as long as it's thin enough. But yeah, you don't want to be putting loose objects in there. Do you know what I mean? I was obsessed with the idea of being able to fire confetti out of it. But as is, I would not recommend you putting. It will fire out here, but don't put any in there because it opens up into the mechanism when you put the pen in. You don't want to get loose parts in there. But I did see something wonderful the other day.
Yeah,
from John Archer.
That might be something of another day. But yeah, it's the warranty will cover you if you use it with a Sharpie. If you go rogue and think, I wonder if Wuffle Dust will fire out of this thing, then don't come knocking to us.
Yeah, we do say as for a Sharpie, use your imagination, but obviously don't go crazy. You can't put sand in it. That's not.
Yeah, it needs to be rigid and cylindrical. Don't write your own jokes. Rigid and cylindrical, and then it's gonna and 95% the same size as a Sharpie. Nigel, Bliss is to eject card reveal loaded in the Sharpie, or could be something or card in Sharpie. He's good at names. Card rolled in the Sharpie. Yeah. No, we love an acronym. There will be more acronyms to come.
What I do with it is, and as obviously I've just come from my gig, is I have a Sharpie on a pull up my sleeve, and I do Wayne Fox's Not So Sharp. So I give them the pen that doesn't work, and when they go to sign a thing, I go, oh, sorry, that must be a dud, and I roll it into a ball. If you've seen Wayne's thing, it's fantastic. I roll it into a little ball, and I pop it in my pocket, and then I go, I'm sure I've got another one. And I have to say, probably about 90% of the time, people will say, oh, it's in your pocket, because they can see it sticking out. And I go, all right. I click my fingers, it fires out, and I catch it. And it's just such a sort of fun moment to look kind of cool. And this is a 100% honest. The first time I used it in my residency, and it was one of the early prototypes that was, it was great, but it wasn't super reliable, which is why we have this double locking thing and stuff. So I was quite nervous using it, and I did the whole thing, and I rolled it in a ball, and I said, I think I've got another one. And the woman sitting down said, oh, you've got one in your pocket, and I was looking directly at her when she said that, and I fired it, and I didn't mean to fire it at that point, and it flew out as I was looking at her, and I just reached out and caught it as I was looking at her. I have fired this thousands of times since then. I've never been able to replicate that. Like, I was looking at and I just caught it and I went, there you go. And everything inside me was just kind of going, oh my God. And I tried to keep it cool. I've never been able to replicate that.
I will offer a bonus competition. When you guys get it, if anyone can film a video where they get to look dead at the camera and catch it, like doing your sexy face, your badass, I am James Bond face, dead at the camera. I want to see no thing. If you manage to catch it dead face, there will be a special little Trick Boom present, which I've yet to decide on, but someone will be getting that. So send that to us and tag us in if you do it on Insta. So quick plug more for the competition. Anyone who joined late, we are giving away an Eject. So I'll give you a couple more minutes to think of what it's going to be, and then we'll go to the trailer again and we'll reveal the winner. So here's the thing. I want to hear the craziest, the most fun things you're going to do with Eject. You could maybe think of, your genuine presentation of how you're going to use it. something fun or crazy uses. If it makes me and Roddy laugh, then we will be choosing the winner from that, and you guys will be getting an Eject winging its way from TTP Towers, and the rest of you well, to buy one, but it's still great value and amazing. So yeah, we'll give that 2 more minutes on that, and then we'll run that trailer again in a couple of minutes. Was there any more questions? And anyone got any thoughts at all? I'm going to go with probably no. In that case, Carl, can we have, what does Carl say? That's going to come back. Can we have that as a challenge at Hallusion? Yeah, of course. If anyone wants to see it live, then the big one is Hallusion, which me and Roddy will be present at in Hull. I believe, Carl, that tickets are still available. Yeah, confirmed. Tickets are still available. There's the last few tickets are available. So yeah, come see it. Me and Roddy will be in Hull on Sunday, and you can walk away with your Eject there and then. Roddy's looking far more casual now. Right, we are going to run that trailer.
I've still not eaten. I've not had my dinner, so let's wind this up. I'm starving.
That's a spirit. All right. We're going to run the VT again. You guys can watch the trailer. Me and Roddy will have a quick chat.
No.
Best trick, the most exciting trick, the most talked about trick of Magic Live 2025. It's Eject by Trick Boom.
Eject is a compact injection molded device that fits perfectly inside a card box, featuring an innovative design composed of 30 precision-engineered components working together seamlessly, with internal locking triggered by a sensor and a viewing window. So at a glance, you know whether you're ready to perform. By rotating the knob, you can adjust the height from 2 to 15 feet, all designed with your performance in mind.
At Trick Boom, we've made a portal only at Magic Live. Watch this. I'll drop a pen in here.
No way.
And we've got a rubber pen as well.
Sure, that says the rubber pen, but as to be, it goes soft when it travels.
Oh, yeah, they might have seen that before.
Yeah, but then you can.
No way.
Eject, the new signature moment in your act.
All right. 1, 2, 3, fire. Ta-da. Yeah, you find it out your butt. Good job.
Welcome back, Boomers. Right.
Hello. There are a lot of comments. I'm sort of trying to catch up on them. Yeah, I see one of my friends has commented on here. Ramafrog. Yeah, yeah. We're not going to mention that.
That sounds rude.
I think
Well, the
it was rude.
Cardinals have met and in their conclave and decided who the winner will be. And we didn't think about drum roll effects. So, hold on, we might have a drum roll effect. I'm just hearing my ear. No, it's all right. I'm going to keep my finger in my ear. We might have a proper one. Hold on.
Ooh.
Oh, we have got drum roll effects. And the winner is Chris Backus. Almost for effort, because Chris was pinging him in there. Chris, Sharpie vanishes, a balloon floating, tied to bag, ejected Sharpie pops balloon as it reappears. I want to see that trick. That is going to be. You're going to win, because that tickled me. I was like, that's an amazing visual. So yeah, if you can do that, obviously tag the shit out of us on the social. So you're well done. We're applauding. So no, you're absolutely crackers. Right, I believe class is dismissed. Roddy can have his dinner, and you lot have fun. Spread the word. If you're a Magic Cafe kind of guy, if that's your vibe, jump on. Spread the love, because me and Roddy are just two guys trying very, very hard to make this thing work. So it's exclusive from us. You can only get it from Trick Boom. Spread the word, get people excited about it. We are so excited about this, and we want to see those videos. So when you start getting them in the next few days, ping them out, and it's going to be awesome. Right, Kerry says see you Sunday. You will indeed see you Sunday. Right, I believe it's traditional now that we say waving.
Thank you so much for joining us, all you lovely boomers.
It's weird saying boomers, because it does sound like they're sort of kids of the 1940s, but we haven't got a better name.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
TD beers.
We'll see you on the next one.